Sound good? I forget every time.
So
it is
93.4. What does that mean?
That's the sold to list ratio. So when it's listed at 93.4, so when people are selling for at
93% of, wow,
that's a crazy big number, and it's bigger in Cedar.
And does that include concessions?
This report doesn't show that, so I imagine not. I imagine that the people are getting concessions on top of that.
So you're getting like 10%.
Yep. All right, so we're about to get started. We're just going to give it maybe another minute before we get rolling, give people enough time. They're gone. But anyways, we'll give it one more minute, and then we'll jump right onto it and get going from there. I can't see. I think we're in a good spot here. Can you see it on your side?
Oh, us?
Yeah, we look okay right there.
Oh, there we are. But, yeah.
That
I
good?
think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be here for the most
That's
part.
fine.
I'll jump on it. And I say we go live at 2 minutes. That sound good?
Yeah, that's cool.
Just get rolling on it. Cool. No, so for this year, I debated whether or not I do the race again,
Right.
or there's a truck called the King Kong, which is like super. It's over by it's in like not Apple Valley. What's it called over there? Oh my gosh! You go up the hill from like you're going to Zion's.
Mm-hmm.
You know that town? They got that little mocked up cowboy town.
Oh yeah,
right there. It's
yeah.
really close to that.
Okay.
But there's a trail that's like super like advanced, like
Virgin, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've got multiple friends who've broken like their collarbones and stuff on this trail. Anyways, I've been scared of it, so I've never done it. But my goal, I think, is going to be to go and do a bunch of these trails that I'm a little scared of, build up to it, and then do that one by the end of the year. So I don't know.
Don't get injured.
I know that's the only thing, but
How do you do it without injuring yourself?
we'll see.
Don't take me.
I know, right? Yeah, I'll be going with people that like that stuff probably. So.
It'd be fun, but I need an easier one to start on.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I won't take you on that one. I'll show you a video later if you want to see it.
Yeah, that'd be cool sometime.
All right, I lied. Let's do 30 more seconds and let's just jump into it because that's what it is. We'll get people on it eventually, right?
Oh yeah.
Just a little by little, right?
And afterwards, I think you get the views too.
It's true. Couple 10 seconds. Do the studio guy, right?
We need one.
This let me. I just gotta get this ready to go, so it will let me. Oops. All right, let's do it then. You're down?
I'm down. Yeah.
All right. Well, welcome everybody to another episode of the Real Estate Unlocked podcast. I'm Jefferson Clements.
Happy New Year's. I'm Lance.
Yeah, this is the first one of the year.
Yep.
I'm so excited. I can't wait. But cool. Well, let's jump right onto it. Like I said, it's episode 3. Here we're going to go over the rental market as well as the buying and selling market for all Washington and Iron County. So we're excited to do that. Go into some tips and tricks that might help you unlock your 2026 real estate vision. So first off, as always, we like to start with the January home tip of the month. I love this tip. If you only clean when guests are coming over, you're not alone. Just try pretending guests are coming over once a week. I thought that was pretty good. As simple as it is, I know enough people that could take that advice. So, and I'll be honest, I don't know what that movie is. It looks like something I should know, but I don't remember it.
I've seen them.
Seem familiar?
Yeah, I've seen that clip before, but I can't place it.
I love it. Okay, well, we started doing this back in October. So here you'll see that we've got, this is for the rental market for Iron County and Washington County. Washington County is in blue, Iron County is in red. You're going to notice here, let me move this over so that you can see this. Washington County went up by a couple, I guess, $30 here for the month. This is all of December here. It went from 2,047 of average rents up to 2,077. And Iron County mirrored that, went up from 1,624 in November, and the average for December was 1,680. So an increase on both sides. Very interesting, though, that Cedar City had kind of I guess, a bigger increase on that. And it's kind of interesting as we go and look at the actual, like the buying and selling market, did the same thing. Cedar had a pretty solid month for the month of December, believe it or not. So
that's
yeah,
unique for December.
yeah, it's interesting.
A little bit slower.
For this month, we added the trend line here too. It'll just look awesome as we get more of that data. Moving along, we're in Washington County and Iron County. A lot of squares going on here. The blue represents the active. The Washington County is on the left side, Iron County on the right. So those are the blue. It represents everything that is actually out there or was out there. Red is what's new for that month. So that last column on the right side was for December, and the yellow is what actually sold. So taking a peek at that, we had 2,200 listings listed in the month of December. 396 were new, so that means they were listed in December, and 442 of those sold.
So more sold than new.
Yeah, which is interesting because it flip-flopped from November, where there was 484 new listings versus the 346 actually sold listings. But I'm not really worried about that. I think it's mostly, it just kind of goes down to that November, December, and the slow time. And I think we'll see that jump up as January goes through.
Yeah, new inventory will be coming on.
100%.
I'm already starting to see that.
Yeah, I noticed too, looking at that rental market, there's a lot of new units that are going up. I think our company, we've listed 3 or 4 new listings just
as rentals.
Yeah, just as rentals for this year. And so that's kind of exciting. Iron County they had 819 listings, 135 were new. And this is where it gets interesting, 183 sold. So they actually sold, I guess it's the same as St. George. They sold more as well. It's so interesting how they parallel each other. It's just very interesting to me.
Yeah, they're very complementary markets.
I love it.
Yeah.
This is your average sold price. So your average sell price for St. George is $504,500, which is a significant drop. Look at that. It was $516 from November, and then in December it went down way further. Cedar City though was opposite. In November it was $425,000, and they've gone up to $430 for the month of December. Which, when we get to this section too, I will show this as well.
How many houses about sold? Did it say that?
Yeah, the houses that sold in November for Iron County or Washington County or both.
Or both, I guess.
St. George or Washington sold 346 in November and 442 in December. Okay. And then Iron County 180 in November and 183 in December. So yeah, super interesting. Looking at this next page here, days on market for Washington County is 77.7, which isn't a big change from what it was before. However, Iron County's jumped by 10 days. They went way up. They were closer to St. George, and now we're at 89.9, which is interesting considering that they sold so much. But I think it just is because they have more inventory before December, and so they still just have that inventory. So the absorption rate has gone down. Also with that, it was 5.14 in November, and now it's 4.88. That's Iron County, and then St. George went down as well. So 5.5 in November down to 5.1, which is interesting. So I'm excited to keep going because it's honestly strong, and it's exciting to see kind of how things are panning out, and I'm only excited to see how the next quarter goes. So awesome. You want to take it from here?
Credit tip of the month, I guess.
I love this. I didn't know this before today.
Surprised you ever said something new knowledge today.
I'm so stoked about it.
All right. So if you ever get junk mail in your mailbox, offers from credit companies, banks, this is a way to go and opt out of all of that.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Opt out pre-screen. It's free. You just go in there. It's going to ask you a few questions, and you can opt out. I think it's for 5 years that you can opt out for, and you'll cut down on the junk mail you get for a while. Why that's a credit tip? You're just in control, really, of your finances. If you need to go get a credit card, a car loan, you're going to go out and get it yourself. You're not, just taking what comes at you. You're going to be the one that goes out there and talks to your lender and
I love that.
Gets that.
I'll be signing up for it for sure. I think along with that, I feel like it's another part-time job just to go through your mail and try to filter out what's scam and what's not.
Yeah, you still get plenty of junk mail that's not credit
Do ya?
offers, but
I feel like I get them all the time, but whatever.
yeah, that's a good one.
I love it. All right, jump into this. This is exciting. I love this
Okay,
one.
so we've been telling you kind of what interest rates are each month, and today we're sitting at 6.2 on average for the rates, or slightly better than we were last month. But for the chart, I purposely did a longer term. This is 1971 through the end of the year.
I wasn't even born then.
Gives you some perspective, right?
Yeah.
Because sometimes we get tunnel vision. We forget. We have recency bias, I guess, is the way to put that. So we're starting, as a public, to adjust to these new higher rates. We've had them for a few years now. But if you look historically, average, we're at 7.7. So we're actually a good, 1.5% under the historical average right now.
Good.
But because of the recency bias and what I guess we were spoiled for a few years there with these really super low rates, we often forget that 6%, 5%, those are good interest rates, right?
Good.
So
yeah, 6.2, and I mean that's pretty darn close to 6, kind of.
Yeah, and one thing we were just talking before we went on the video, this sold to list ratio, these numbers, right? We were showing this kind of comes into play with that.
Right here,
94 and 93. So that means the average seller is coming off their price to sell their home
by 7%.
By 6 to 7%.
Yeah.
And that's not necessarily counting the concessions they're giving, right?
That's correct.
We're seeing tons of concessions in this market, so
I love it.
Plan on 3%, which you get 3% on that, we're definitely going to be right down your rate into the 5s.
Yeah.
So
I heard it said like we're very much like it was before COVID hit, where the sellers are actually wanting to sell at reasonable prices and buyers are wanting to buy at reasonable prices, right?
Yeah.
And it's nice to know that you can make an offer, have some negotiation room, whether that's getting, meeting that 7% off that top dollar, or, it's really good for buyers to know that, but it's good for sellers to know that information too, so that they can price their home, strategically and make sure that it works out good.
So the caution, I guess, to throw out there is if interest rates come down further, more buyers are on the sidelines, come into the market, all of a sudden there's more competition, those concessions will go away, the discount in pricing will go away, you'll sell at a higher, percentage of closer to list, right? So right now is a great time.
I love it.
Find a house, find a deal.
I mean,
negotiate.
Yeah.
I enjoy negotiating.
Yeah,
right?
it's the fun part. It's so fun. What's interesting too, last thing on this is the 93.4 for Iron County. I don't remember the last time it was under 94. So it's kind of exciting.
Yeah, that's
just to see that, hey, things are
typically it's like 97, 98 that
Mm-hmm.
that we've been seeing in the last few years. So
yeah, it's super good to see that number there. Awesome. Well,
okay. So back to this chart, right?
Yes.
And talking about tunnel vision, right? Quick story for you as we're, going into the next slide here. With being in the new year, just kind of wanted to take a step back and focus on the bigger picture, right? So here's a bigger picture of interest rates, where we've been. But I was thinking over the holidays, I remember this story, because when I was 15, I got a 22 rifle, right, for Christmas. And that summer, the reason I asked for one was because I went to scout camp, and I was a good shot. I enjoyed it, and I got in the dime club, meaning I got 5 shots on the bullseye, and they fit under the dime.
That's so cool.
I was all hyped up, get the 22, go out with my dad, set up the pop cans, and we're sitting there, and I'm aiming, shooting, I'm missing. I'm like, why can I not hit the pop can? It's
bigger than the dime.
It's a lot bigger than the dime. And so finally we figured, this rifle it's brand new, it's never been sighted. Mm-hmm. So we had to get the tools out and, adjust everything, re-sight us in, right? So just from a goals and new year type perspective, take a step back, readjust your focus, maybe you're so focused narrowly on stuff that's not going to get you to your goal, that you're missing the mark. So
Perfect.
let's
I love it. That takes us straight to the next slide here. We wanted to go over the top 5 reasons in our experience why people don't buy. And we kind of started this conversation out with the joke of like, if we had, $1 for every person that we talked to last year that told us, hey, we're just waiting for interest rates to come down, or we're waiting for the prices to come down, or whatever it is, we were making bets on how many people we would talk to this year that would tell us the exact same thing, right?
Right.
And so it kind of got us thinking on this. And so we want to just go over these top 5 reasons. So job security.
Yeah. So a lot of people blame the market for things, or they want it to improve. They want interest to improve, but really there's oftentimes, if we dig a little deeper, an underlying, and it's going to be these 5 things that are the real reason, right? So
I love it.
Job security. Talk about that a little bit. How do we, how stable do you feel at your job?
Yeah.
Are you in an industry that might be facing layoffs, or, are you getting, raises and keeping up with inflation, that kind of thing?
I feel like another big one that people miss on this is people have read something online, or they've talked to somebody that maybe wasn't so experienced in like the lending department, then they feel like they have to have a specific criteria of work met, and I can't tell our listeners enough how many times you have like corrected that and like actually helped people that thought, hey, I don't even have enough income to, or I don't have enough of like job history to make this work. And so don't trust the internet, like come talk to a professional and get that like firsthand knowledge from someone that actually knows what they're doing. Like,
yeah, for sure.
Huge deal.
Yeah. I mean, there's some programs where you need multiple year history. There's other programs where 1 month is you're solid kind of a thing. So all situational, dependent on, what you're doing.
Yeah. I've seen you do it too, where somebody does change a job, but because it's still W-2 or however it's changed, even though it's a new job, you've been able to still pull the deal through, which is
same industry, same.
Literally. And people just like walk away because they're like, oh, I can't do it because I changed my job within the last 3 months or whatever. And anyways,
I just talked to a client and he's like, hey, I was waiting. I was going to call you. I was going to get, a year on the job. I'm like, wait, you've done this before. You're good. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Let's rock and roll. I love it. All right. Number 2 is a down payment. This one's kind of a fun one that comes up because there's a lot out there on, what the possibilities are with down payment, right? A lot of people want to wait till they have 20%. I've had a couple conversations where people are like, don't you have to have 20%?
Yeah, there's actually still that out there. Which is surprising with how much we talk about it, but that's not a thing. But 20% gets you away from mortgage insurance.
Which is awesome. It's definitely a pro.
But if it takes you multiple years to get that 20%, and you miss out on paying down the loan and appreciation and maybe the right deal,
exactly.
All of a sudden it doesn't look so good as saving that versus just getting in. So
I think I'm a true believer that, just like you said, it's not just the market. It's like digging into figuring out what the actual root issues are. But I do believe that buyers or sellers, whatever stage in the process you are, if it's to upgrade the house or whatever, you make your own market, and understanding what different type of programs are out there and understanding what the advantage is with the 20% versus the 5% versus the 1% down, whatever it is, like understanding that is what will leverage you through to building your equity in the home. So,
and there is programs with no down.
Totally.
So there's lots of different options out there.
Yeah.
But very situational, and what's right for you is going to be
100%.
different than the next guy. So
makes sense.
Again, have that conversation.
Number 3, debt to income ratios. We put a kind of a side note here, comfort level versus qualification. There's 2 stages to that, right?
Yeah, so I can often qualify somebody for more than what they're comfortable, like a payment maybe.
Totally.
Their income's good and we make it work, but they're like, no, I don't want to take that on, as far as a monthly payment. So we talk about both things when we're going through the application. What do you qualify for, and what are you comfortable with as well?
Yeah.
Right.
I feel like another thing too, I'd imagine you see this on the lending side, is people that are like, hey, I'm just working on paying this off, but feel like you have the conversation sometimes where it's like, hey, don't focus on that thing, focus on this thing, pay this thing off instead. This will jump up your points or whatever, not necessarily your points, but it will strengthen your position in the buying process.
Yeah, so sometimes it is points. Sometimes we're like, hey, pay down this credit card before you work on this car loan, or because we want your score to increase. It's situational again, right?
Yeah.
But maybe you're close to paying off that car loan and say, hey, don't go buy another one.
Yes, that's the big one.
Pay it off. Let's get you a house next,
I love it.
It's actually a lot, easier to get a car loan than it is a mortgage loan, right? So,
yeah. So I always, every time I have a conversation with somebody about, their debt to income, it's like, hey, before you completely like tell yourself it's not possible, like come talk with the lender, come talk with Lance, and like get the actual like idea of what it actually looks like. Because I mean, gosh, I'd hate to pay something off and then realize, oh, if I'd put the money at this instead, that could have helped accelerate this process. Like, totally.
Yeah, kind of that tunnel vision, right? Maybe you're working on this over here, and you'll get there by the end of the year and be ready. You think you're ready to buy, then you call us and we're like, wait, you should have been going this way, right?
Totally.
So
I love it. Okay, step number 4, incorrect information. This kind of sums up all of the ones that we've already talked about. But I think looking back again at, I've talked to people that are like, hey, I know about this loan program, whether it's, a VA loan or if it's, one of these USDA loans that, they're getting a 0 down payment. And they like love the idea of that in that moment so much that they hold to that, when really there's some kind of different information that they're missing that would prove that there's a better loan program for them, a different option for them. Something like that.
A lot of this I get for our first-time investors too.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe they've already owned a home and now they're wanting down a rental property, and they're not sure how to make that leap. There's a lot of misunderstanding of how you make that jump and how you actually qualify, what it takes.
Yeah.
What can you use as the income to qualify for that next house?
Totally makes sense.
So
yeah, I hear different numbers every time, like this much percent or whatever. Yeah, talk to Lance.
Good answer. That's a good answer.
That's good. I love it. And then 5, like we talked about this kind of at the beginning, but waiting for the better deal. I love it, but again, you make your own market, and I always think it's better to have in place, all these other items to kind of just make sure that you're like ready for when that happens. And
yeah, for
super
sure.
important. But
make your own, offer and market. And I mean, that 93 in Cedar was,
a big deal.
Interesting to me because I'm one of those.
Yeah.
Like I made an offer on a house last month in Cedar, and it's an investment property.
It's awesome.
We're gonna
I love it.
take one down.
Waiting for that too. I feel like a lot of times this kind of goes with number 4 and number 5, the misrepresentation. I get that. And I'm waiting for a better deal. And there's been times where I've given like an investor or a buyer an awesome deal, and they're like, it's not good enough. I want a better deal. And you're like, this is interesting. Like the ROI on this is actually really good. Like, and you ask them, what does a better deal look like? And sometimes they can't even answer that question themselves. Like, or they throw something out that's super unrealistic. And so I think that's something that's why this comes up as number 5 is like, what is your expectation or your experience seeing that better deal? Where I know
one thing I often tell clients is, as you're working on your credit, or as we're, getting a few more months of job history, whatever it is that we're doing, say they're 3-4 months out, let's get with your agent, have them start sending you listings, just so that you're familiar with the market, and that, when you're ready to go and that deal pops up and it's a good deal, you recognize it as a good deal. Because unless you're kind of watching it, you may not know.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. Maybe Jefferson's here telling you, hey, this is a great deal, let's go. But you're not comfortable because you're not seeing it the same way.
Totally.
Just that getting on, there's nothing wrong with getting set up with a listing search and just having those automated emails.
Super easy to do it. Yeah.
It's just familiarizing yourself with the market's important too.
It's awesome too, because both Lance and I are involved with investment properties. I'm invested in the property management side. Like we know what to look for. We've seen it firsthand. We know what not to look for, and we know what flags to keep an eye out for. Yeah. But firsthand experience.
What to avoid is as important as what to look for. Right?
Exactly. Yeah. And so, anyways, those are the 5 top reasons or that people don't buy right now. And I'm curious to see how many more conversations we have where it goes just like this as it has in the past. So moving along, if you guys have any questions, send those in real quick and we can go over those. In the meantime, our next question for you is, what's your next move? We'd love for you guys to reach out to us and let us know. Reach out on YouTube, reach out to our cell numbers, whatever works best, and let us know. And we would love to help you guys make that next move. A couple of the ones that we have up here, first-time home buyer, if you're trying to purchase land, if you're an investment property owner and you're ready to get the second or third, what does that actually look like? Lance mentioned the big one is if you're ready to make the move from you own your home, maybe the next move is to turn it into investment property or find the next investment property. Do you sell the current one? Do you keep it? Use that? Like I had a client I met with that I talked with who hadn't considered renting out their current home because it seemed too stressful to try to figure out the getting a tenant for it. And for me, I guess I'm biased because I do this every day, right? But I'm like, that's the easy part. The harder part is just making sure you got your ducks in a row. And the hardest part is probably getting you on the same page that you like the new property and putting an offer in, but we have solutions for those things. And so whatever it is you're working on, like we have solutions. Like, please reach out, let us help you, and you won't be disappointed. So,
yeah, I mean, we're not going to be high pressure.
Absolutely. We're so chill.
We're going to just give you steps. Okay. If you're not ready today, that's fine. We're going to just give you that next step to take.
100%.
And just get you pointed in the right direction. So
cool. Well, thanks, Lance. And thank you everybody for watching and hanging out with us. I'm excited to see if our sold to list ratio goes down or up, especially for Cedar City, because that was a huge jump. And I guess we'll keep you posted and we'll see you next month. Thanks, everybody.